Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the SOSO podcast. Hello, catching up with Blluist. I'm Gray.
I'm Blue.
And it is the end of June. It's actually July when we're taking this, but this is for the month of June 2024. Sup. Summer.
Sup.
It's summertime. In regards to streaming or gaming, I should say, the game that we've been waiting the most has come out. It's been pretty wild, I would say. How was this month for you?
I mean, aside from Final Fantasy 14 and Elden Ring releasing, it's been a pretty good month, I think.
I mean, it's a good month. It's actually a pretty good year for just games in general, I think. But yeah, how was your month? Because you didn't have too much time. You probably play the most when it comes to games on stream, right? So everything, kind of in between and all that. How was June for you? Let's catch up.
I mean, the same old. I've been working. Lots of working. We have some big things coming up, so just a lot of preparation for that. Hopefully that's something I can announce to you guys soon. That Nonsense is doing some projects that we're doing that I can hopefully announce to you guys and let people know. But for now, it's still very hush hush, so I can't really say too much. But I mean, it's keeping me busy in a good way. I think I'm finally at a place where they're challenging me with certain tasks that it's kind of out of my comfort zone, but in a good way, because I think it leads to, my own personal growth. So in terms of that, I'm getting good challenges at work, and I've been trying to, I've been learning how to manage my time better, to get things done faster and whatnot. So work-wise, it's been really good. And then stream-wise, I mean, yeah, I'm only here for Elden Ring. I haven't really played anything else, honestly. I haven't really had time to play anything else off-stream. I haven't even played my solo file off-stream either.
You played it for the first couple of days?
Yeah, but then it kind of stopped.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to play since I beat Dancing Lion, so... But, I mean, Perfumer's been fun. I am interested in playing more of it. Because we found that, Maddening Frenzy one yesterday, and that seemed really cool. But
yeah, that really scary area.
Yeah, and then, I mean, other than that, I've been playing 14 off stream. I'm trying to level up my tank. Trying to get my crafters up to 90, which is already impossible. It's taking forever, but yeah. It's been good.
You're kind of at the, a part of your life where you really have to pick and choose which games to play. Because there's just not enough time. It was like that before, but we were always using streaming as almost of an excuse to just play more games. But now it's you have to kind of pick and choose which one you want because it's so strict. You have a strict schedule of I need to work this, I need to, and then I can play games, and we can stream this because streaming is a little bit different than playing games off stream. So I feel like it's another level of balance.
I mean, also since now I read a lot more books too, so I've been trying to accommodate time for that.
Yeah, book club seems like it's been really fun.
Yeah, I think me reading books has taken over, some game time too, of course. So, yeah, I do have to really pick and choose what I play. I don't really play too many games these days. I actually have to be a responsible adult.
So it's been what? Well, technically it's more than 50%. I had this epiphany or this moment of realization that more than 50% of the year was done. And it kind of shocked me that the year 2024 is all at least half of it's done. I just feel like it was yesterday that we recorded the podcast being this is going to be,
a really weird year.
Really weird year. And holy shit, has it been a really weird year already. Just a lot of kind of getting used to things, still not used to a lot of things. I still feel like we just started doing changing schedules and whatnot. I'm still not used to it. I'm still not 100% comfortable with everything yet. And it's been a pretty wild year for me. But how has it been? You're the one that really like it changed up, schedule wise, life wise, in the last 6 months. Did it fly by for you, or you still?
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of weird to think that it's already July, huh?
Yeah, it's July. It's more than 50%, 50 something percent, maybe even 60% done.
I mean, but the thing is, like, for the past 5 years, my sense of time was already kind of weird. Because, like, you had a strict, like, Monday to Friday schedule, right, where you went to the office. But, I mean, I work remote, so my sense of time is still pretty weird. So, to me, it's like, I don't know how to calculate time anymore. I don't know what's fast and what's slow anymore.
Right.
So, I don't know. It's kind of a weird...
Well, it's how you feel.
It's
like,
weird.
okay, so I just told you it's 50-something percent. Did you feel that it was fast, or did you feel like it was... Oh, you're like, oh, that makes sense. Like,
no, it's fast in a scary way.
It's fast?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always going to get faster.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe not for you, because you're experiencing new things. You know, because like we were talking about, like the reason why it feels slow is because you stop experiencing stuff.
No,
So-
it's still fast.
Still fast?
So I don't know. That might be a lie.
It could be. Yeah, this year's just been a wild one, and particularly a tough one for me. 2024 has been a tough year, I think.
Yeah.
Just in general, with all the things that's happening. It was. I knew it was going to be a turbulent year, mentally, but wow, yeah, it's pretty. And I mean, so many reasons why, but and a lot of it is kind of clouded in confusion. There's a lot of confusion, uncertainty, trying out things, maybe not action-wise. Some things don't just really come, I can't just act on something easily, but
Yeah.
it takes a while to have one type of idea, and a lot of things that I can't talk about yet, but that have been moving, but it doesn't seem like it's moving. It's been a really weird year, and it's not like anything really has changed when it comes to streaming, which is like it's like a double-edged sword. One thing is it's good because there's a kind of a comfort there, but there's also a part of me that wants to get out of that comfort zone. And there's a part of me that wants to get out of that comfort zone and try something new, but it's easier said than done, I think. And it's really making me think about what I want to do in streaming, because this is what I do like 90% of the time when I like do stuff. Like when I say, not work, but like when I say like what I let's go, like when I'm focusing mostly on streaming, because I mean I have work. I've been getting a lot more work with translations, and yeah, it's kind of like I'm not even doing translations anymore. I'm doing more outreach stuff, talking to companies, just helping people out, and I'm way past just like translating documents for a company that for like mechanical parts or something like that.
Thank God.
I'm more of the liaison for a lot of companies.
I think that's much more like closer to what you're good at.
100%.
And what you're more like, it uses your skills a lot more than just company like manuals. So
yeah, I don't think. I mean, maybe there's people out there that feel like that's their calling, but I mean, I can't imagine myself.
Because like to me, if I had to translate something, for me it'd be easier to translate manuals.
Really?
Yeah. Because I don't like people.
You don't like talking?
I don't like talking. So I would rather just someone give me a flat out packet and be like, here, translate this. And then I'd be like, okay, I'll translate it. Like, so I think, yeah. So I think in this case, what you're doing right now is so much better for you. Right. Than just a packet of stuff. So
I agree. I think it's definitely what I excel at more, and I definitely enjoy it. One of the hardest things about all of this is pricing it because I'm freelancing, right? And a lot of it is dependent on how much work you put into it. And I know that this is something that I realized really recently is that a lot of it is like this is obvious, but you put how much work you put into it and how much, how hard the work was, and how much time you put into it. And I think a lot of that, when you get used to it, right? Pricing stuff, and I've done freelance for a really long time, so I know how to like price things in a very specific type of translation, or like hard kind of straight up letters, words, and stuff like that. I know how to do that, but when I'm kind of in this free form, new type of translation, I have to price it, and I realized that a lot of those prices that I put in before had this element of stress that was also part of the price. And what I mean by that is like, if I feel like I'm working hard at something, even if I like it or even if I don't like it, there's a level of like stress. And I put that into the fee, and I think everybody does that, right? There's a little bit of like, okay, how stressful was this job actually? Like maybe it was something that I liked or I was interested in, but I knew nothing about. So I had to do a lot of research. And so I'm going to put that, and that counts as time. But there's also this like at the back of your mind, it's completely justified because you're researching, it's part of the work, you can put it in. But there's a part of stress. There's a little bit of stress that goes into it, like an element of it. How tiring was that? How stressful was that, right? I have no stress anymore when it comes to work. So it's hard to, like, I'm like, well, I'm really good at this, and I can get this done in, like, minutes. And I don't even know how long I, quote, unquote, worked on it because it was just something so natural. So, like, it's been a hard thing. And I know it doesn't really matter when it comes to work. Like, you can just, if you put X amount of time, you just put that in there. But with outreach work, which is what I do, like talking to companies, doing emails, and getting to know that person and kind of like creating a connection with them, I'm not going to price it per email because not all emails are business. And maybe if you were like really been in the industry and whatnot, you're like, no, yeah, you can price all of that and stuff. And the people have their own system, but I don't have that yet. So I'm just like, I can't price that, so I can't do this. Thankfully, the companies that I'm working for are really close and understanding. So I'm just like, so here's the deal. This is like the market price for this stuff. This is how much work I think I put into it. And what do we think? Can we see like a middle ground here? Like, does this sound okay? And there's a lot of communication, not only with the client, but I'm actually able to
well, I mean, I think
communicate with the company.
That's how it should be anyway. So
yeah, it's just hard. Like, I don't know.
Freelancing, it's all about communication. So
yeah,
because you don't know what their budget is, they don't know what your budget is. It's like you have to kind of find that good middle ground of what works for both of you.
And I'm just in a really lucky place where I have a couple of different, not just all outreach, but different types of jobs. And a lot of it has to do with communication. So I don't have anybody around me that will try to fuck me over. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like just some random job that I picked up and I don't know who's paying me. And like, I know them very well and I trust them 100%. So it's been like that. So work-wise, I feel like it's definitely better. Which would probably lead to a healthier mental state than what I've been in this year. This year, like, when you just look at it like a bird's eye view of like, all right, this year, Blue got a job, I'm getting more jobs, it should be good. But it's not like that at all. Like, this year is straight up tough as hell for me. Way tougher than last year. And last year was pretty tough too. But I don't know, there's something about this year, and I think a lot of it has to do with my just being lost with streaming. I think that's what it is. It's trying to figure it out. I feel like there isn't. I was gonna say I feel like I know where I'm going. I have no idea where I'm going anymore. Not to say that there are exciting things coming up for me and that I have planned that will hopefully kind of opened up new paths for me. But still, there's this lull time where things aren't really, and everything is uncertain. Everything is uncertain, and it's, even though if I know that what I'm doing, and I'm always going to be challenging new things, but it sounds romantic when you say it like that, like challenging new things and all that, but it's still the day-to-day, the Mondays, you know, just the Mondays, the Tuesdays, and then, you know, just those days always come and nothing has changed. There's a little bit of change and a little bit of movement with things happening, but at the end of the day, a Monday's a Monday and nothing has changed, and it's not like I'm like fucking motivated every day to like go fucking seize the day type shit. You know, I'm a human being, so it's like, and I feel like I've had a lot more of those days this year, and I think you've seen me. What do you think? Like, you're the closest person to me, so you probably see a lot of that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what you want me to add to that because you already kind of summed it up. But I mean, it's very obvious that you don't really know what you want to do with streaming. Mm-hmm. You don't really have any kind of plan or anything, like any place you're headed. So honestly, I don't think that's a bad thing, especially since there's other aspects of your life that's kind of shaping up and kind of like slotting into place. So, but, you know, my relationship with streaming is a little bit different than yours. So I can say that really easily, but.
Yeah, like it's so weird because like there's days, I'm going to be honest, there's days where I'm like, I don't want to like, maybe this is like, I should just step back a little bit. There's days. And I think everybody has those days. I'm just being very honest. But then I'm watching streams. I was like, no, fuck that. I want to do that. But there's a couple projects, and I'll be honest because it's over now. They didn't happen. And I was working on them with other people, and it just didn't happen because we took a couple of we test recorded some stuff. And I saw myself, because I would be like the main spot, right? Like I would be like and it just didn't make sense. I couldn't see myself going through this, and not because like I don't feel confident in myself, but it just didn't feel right objectively for me to be in that spotlight in that certain way. And so and other things too, other scheduling problems, and it was like a transitionary period where we had to kind of change who was going to be working on these projects. And then I just saw it, and so I was like, hey, just send it over. I'll just see what the footage looks like. Saw it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to drop this because I don't... And it's not, again, it's not like a confidence thing. It just didn't objectively seem... you know what you know what I'm talking about? I talked to you about this. It was like, it just didn't seem right. And then you are actually the one that spewed the next idea that I'm working on right now. But after having that conversation, I was just like, this just does not seem right.
Yeah, because
you understand what I mean, though, right? Yeah. Like what I meant.
Well, because the thing is, at the end of the day, like your skills are more like you're really good at things like interviews, where you give other people the spotlight. But you're actually not that good at having the spotlight.
I know. I thought I would.
So even though I know you want to be, you want to be in the spotlight, or you think you do. But I don't think you actually do.
Oh, you don't think that
that's just what you brainwashed yourself into thinking. Like you think that you want to be in the spotlight, but I don't think you actually do.
Okay, now you got me thinking.
Yeah.
And I think you're onto something, because do you think it's one of those like the grass is always greener and you always look up to people that have something that you don't? So all the people that I look up to are the people that are in the spotlight.
But you know why you like those people in the spotlight?
Why?
Because you want to be the one talking to them.
In my mind, I feel like I want to be them.
But that's the thing. I don't think you do.
You know what someone told me that was so weird?
No, let me finish. Hold on.
Sorry.
Because
go ahead.
the thing is, you like people.
Yeah, I do.
And you like people more than you like yourself.
100%, yes.
So you being in the spotlight would be really boring for you. Because then why would you talk to anyone else then? If you're already in the spotlight.
I have a little bit of a different. This podcast is going to be a really interesting one in 3 months to listen back, because I can't talk about anything yet.
Yeah.
But
I know.
And people that are listening, I know I apologize. A lot of this is
It's
ambiguous.
really ambiguous, but you'll see in 3 months' time what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I don't know 3 months.
Maybe not 3 months, but like in the near future, this podcast, this episode specifically, because I can't talk about stuff right now, is gonna be hilarious. But, anyways, I don't know, because like in my mind, right? In my mind, I feel like if I am in the spotlight, and saying in the spotlight sounds really narcissistic, and I guess a little bit of is whatever, because we stream and we are on the camera. But I don't want to sound like cocky or anything. But I feel like I can, with me being on the camera, that I can, and the things that I've been working really hard with, there's a level of communication, there's a level of entertainment, not professional entertainment in any stretch of the imagination, but a very casual internet level entertainment and connection that I can provide for other people. Of course, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just like, I'm not a superstar, I'm not a comedian, but I feel like there's something that people can benefit from, and hopefully, I don't think, I just hope that I'm not just doing this for myself, you know, and like.
Okay, so here's how I see you. You know how like those talk shows, like on American TV, like, or not just American TV, but those talk shows where it's like one guy's at a desk and he has guests.
The late night shows. Yeah.
So all those hosts are kind of in the spotlight, but they're not, right? Yeah, it's the people who are the guests that are technically in the spotlight.
Yeah, but those people are like top tier conversationalists and entertainers.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is you're more geared towards that side than the guests that they get called into.
Not a hold on.
Like, you can't be someone in the spot. If you want to be the one asking the questions, if you want to be the one behind the desk, then you can't be in direct spotlight. It's like this weird and big, like this. It's like this secondary spotlight that all these people behind the desks have, because they do have spotlight too, because that's why they can invite all these guests. But at the same time, they're not in the direct spotlight, because the ones with the direct ones are the ones that get called into those shows. So even in this relationship, I'm the guest. You're behind the desk. I'm more suited for quote unquote spotlight.
I agree.
I don't want to talk to people.
I agree.
I don't like. I'm the type of person who would rather hire someone to deal with people for me. That's like the most like Hollywood thing I could think of, is like they hire people to deal with people for them.
Yeah, and then I want to talk to them.
Yeah, but you're the one who wants to talk to people.
No.
So I think it's like, to be in the spotlight is something that's really, that's really isolating for one. And I think it's a whole different, you have a different idea of what spotlight is. You're only looking at the doors that it would open if you're in the spotlight. Well, not the actual, like, what it would be like to be there. You like the possibilities that that comes with it, like being able to talk to certain, like, endless amounts of people. Like, it opens a lot of doors and connections to people.
I'm doing it because I want to meet new people.
Yeah, but when you act, because like, if you're in the spotlight, that means you have some fame, and you have, other famous people have more chance to talk. Like, they have more, it's more possible to approach them. But when you're actually in the spotlight, I don't think honestly, I don't think you'll like it.
Interesting.
I honestly don't think you can handle it too.
I don't think I can handle it.
That's a lot of social pressure, and that's a lot of like.
Yeah.
You care too much about what people think of you.
That's true.
To be honest.
That is true.
Like, you have to be a certain amount of weird.
Yeah, I think I'm a little too normal.
To not care about other people. No, I'm not talking about normal. I'm talking about people who just really, really don't care about what other people think of them.
Right.
Who, like, because you have to have super thick skin and to not let outside sources, like, determine how you think, right? But you're someone who thinks way too much about certain things.
Yeah, I mean,
like, you dive into things too much. You second guess yourself too much.
Hateful comments don't ever get to me. It's
right, but
it's more about.
I'm saying, like,
it's more about, like, to me, it's more about. I don't want. Yeah, okay. It's not about. For me, it's never about, like, like, there's always a stupid comment here and there, you know, but that never gets to me. It's the ones that I just feel like I know that people support me and I don't want to let them down.
Yeah. But I don't mean like hate comments. What I mean is the fact that every single time we finish recording a podcast, you look at me and go, did I say anything wrong? Was that okay? Yeah. Should we retake it? Did this sound okay? Did this sound bad? Do you think they'll take it out? Like, that's what I mean.
Because I don't want to let people down.
Exactly. That's what I mean. But you overthink things. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I'm saying I don't think you're someone that's meant to be in direct spotlight.
Yeah, maybe.
You want more control than that.
Yeah.
And you need more. Yeah. Because spotlight is completely in the front. Mm-hmm. You want some control in the back too. Like, you want to be able to do backstage stuff and do front stage stuff.
True.
That's what I mean is I think you'd be better behind the desk.
Yeah.
Than the person on the couch.
That would make sense. Yeah. I'm just. Yeah, and I think streaming puts you in the spotlight in a very in a sense, and I think, like, it's been a year where I've been thinking, like, you know how 2 months ago on the pod, months ago, you were being very honest and you said that, you know, you never felt so comfortable, in the sense that you never thought that streaming was your calling. Like, you like doing it, you enjoy doing it, but you always had this feeling inside of you that wasn't what you were supposed to be doing.
Yeah, yeah.
And and you were like, well, Gray, you're different. And I was like, yeah. And I think in the sense that I feel that I was, someone that loves streaming just like you, but I also felt like I fit it very well. And now there's a lot of moments where it's like, I think I still am. I should be in front of the camera. Mm-hmm. But maybe the format of how I'm on the camera is what's making it feel. It's not weird, but doesn't make me feel complete. Where it's like, just like you said, maybe because a camera on me, spotlight on me, blah blah blah, I'm way better at taking someone, you know, like not better, but I enjoy taking somebody's comment and making it into, you know, trying to see how far I can take it, or like taking someone said, remembering something that someone said, bringing it up, and then just going off that, you know, like I always need somebody else, or I'm always stronger with somebody else, or what somebody said, or
I mean, I think the reason why Blluist is funny is because you use me very well, and not in like a malicious way. I mean, like, I still think that you're like the mastermind behind Blluist.
Ew. Don't say it like that. That sounds.
You know what I mean?
The
like,
puppet master.
No, oh my God, that's not what you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like,
please.
I don't think by myself I would not. I'm not a funny person. By myself, I don't think. Like, I don't think I'm not really like. Because I'm not talking about now. Maybe I'm a lot better at it now. But when we first started streaming, I was boring as fuck. I barely talked. I could barely keep a conversation. Like, me by myself was a disaster.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason why you were able to make me into Blue as a character, like the character part of Blue, I'm not saying like a fake version or anything like that. I meant like the entertaining part that you guys see now, where I can sort of keep a conversation, I can make jokes, and I'm relatively normal, is because of you. It's because of the banter and the character that you were able to grow for me.
Well, it is just you. It was the only thing that I did was that was you off camera. And then as soon as you get some level of attention back when we started streaming, you would just freeze up. So it was just kind of
but I'm saying
up to the Blue that I know.
Right, but what I'm saying is that's not something I can achieve by myself, but that's something you're very, very good at. And you were able to do that with me. And so if you could do that with someone like me, where I feel like I'm pretty, fairly mild when it comes to a lot of things. Imagine you with someone who's, really out there.
Yeah. I mean, it's difficult because a lot of that, what you just said, and I agree with it. And yeah, I agree with it. When you put it into the context of a streaming day to day, playing video games and streaming video games and everything that I thought I was working on, it starts to lose meaning, if that makes sense. And I know I'm taking this in like a weird place here, but none of those things that when realizing that, almost none of what I've been working on means anything. Is like a moment that I hit. Everything, all this like nuanced things that I thought maybe I wasn't even working on it. Maybe that was just something that I just thought I was working on. It just doesn't go through. It doesn't show results. That's for sure. I knew that, but because it's such a subtle thing, but I thought it was so important. And I think that's because I really believe in, and I've talked about it with many people too, where, there's an art to streaming. We've mentioned it many, many times, but, and I still believe it. Don't get me wrong. I believe in all those things, but maybe I'm not somebody that can succeed doing that. And it's got to be somebody that's different. There's somebody better for that kind of mindset. And if the format of the whole thing of like me, the whole thing that you just mentioned, the spotlight, making other people, blah, 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 it means leaving less because now that I'm alone. That would kind of make sense if you were streaming it together, because like you said, if you were the person here, I could do that to you. So the attention goes to you. Right? Which I think we were doing. But and I think the reason why a lot of people might be like, that are streaming too, probably don't put that much thought into it, and they're just there playing games and having fun and nurturing a community, which is like a terrific way to do it. And that overthinking thing that you mentioned is what I'm doing, but with the whole entire Twitch thing. But I truly believe that, and I sincerely, and this is something that I believe, and I have confidence, at least for myself, is that hard work that I put into also translates to how dedicated somebody is or not dedicated they are to your channel, to your, when they could be anywhere on the internet, they're spending time here multiple times, even if it's, like the number of people doesn't matter. If you can do that to one person, that's pretty crazy. And I believe that subtle hard work that we put into is what keeps people here. And like and this is crazy, but I believe that a Blluist stream, if you're having a shitty day, has the potential and has a chance to make that day even 0.1% better, which is like fucking insane, because when you're having a shitty day, nothing really helps. And I because I have that. I know that. You know that. So it's like when we do get messages being like, you really helped me out during a hard month, or like I was in the hospital doing this, and Blluist is all like that. And I always say those are the things that keep us going, and it's true. And not everybody can do that. And I don't think just popping up a video game and playing it can do that. Maybe they can't. Maybe they can. Maybe people are just that, like, they know what they're doing. I don't know what I'm doing. So it's not natural to me. So I need like a method in my mind, at least.
I mean, you need a distraction. And sometimes when you're having a bad day, the last thing you want to do is pop up a game because you're indecisive. You don't know what game to play. So if you pop up a stream, you don't really have to do anything. You just have to listen. Right?
Yeah.
And hopefully it helps.
Yeah.
I guess.
And I think a lot of that everyday thinking for 6 months, 7 months, while we've just seen the opposite of what I would say growth in the channel, like objectively. And I mean that because I don't want to say that we're not getting enough support or anything like that.
Yeah.
That's not what I mean. I'm saying objectively, when you look at numbers, in a cold way of looking at it, that's what's happening. And no matter, we try to focus, we do our best, and it just doesn't. There's some parts like our shorts do well thanks to Roy, and stuff like that. And there's like, wins here and there, but I've never been. And it makes sense. It all makes sense. Nothing is surprising. I'm not doing like a subathon, or it's not like I'm doing, so I'm not complaining, but I'm just seeing it, and it is, and a lot of things are still underground, kind of getting ready. And yeah, there's an excitement, but there's a lot of fear for me too. Fear, uncertainty, and then the everyday of like, I don't really know what I'm doing, and like it's been confusing. It's been very confusing. I feel like I'm not really myself sometimes when I'm streaming. And I'm trying to like figure it out. Been trying to figure it out, and I say that as an excuse, as a placeholder. I'm not figuring shit out. I'm just living day to day. To be honest, that was like a defense mechanism kicking in there, making it just to buy time. But I'm not doing shit. Like, I'm just like, every day is just a day. Hontoni, in the truest sense. But I'm fighting. I'm fighting through it, and I'm not bitching about it. I'm not like, I'm not like bitching and moaning, not doing anything about. I am doing things about it. I hopefully think, and I stream is not where that energy is. I don't ever complain. Hopefully I not just complaining about all of what I'm saying right now on stream, because that's not the place to do it. Hope I'm not complaining now. I'm not coming off as complaining now, because
I think you're just being honest.
Yeah, and there's a lot of thought into it, and it's not. I don't blame anybody. I don't blame. I only blame myself for all of this, but that also means that I can change it, and I'm trying to, and I'm doing my best to.
And that's why we're planning. Well, I mean, sorry, you're planning a lot of projects and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
And I think we need that. We need that. I think like, and shouts out to Josh for really helping me out in a time like this too, where if he's been so understanding of everything, of what I wanted to do, and he's kind of going into his own way now, which I'm really, really happy for. And I think it's about time that he also gets the attention that he deserves. And I was able to find Josh at the perfect time. I think we were both struggling at the time with a lot of things. We were very scared about a lot of things. And even if it means that for that time that we figure shit out, we do stuff together and on stream and helps us kind of power through this moment, that's all that matters for me. But it's something new that I'm trying out. But also it doesn't feel like something that I couldn't pull off. I couldn't do what I'm doing with Josh with like a bunch of other people. I would be exhausted and I would hate streaming if I did that. In the sense that I can't focus. Streaming with somebody else is so much focus that a lot of people just forfeit. And it's okay to forfeit when you're doing a collab and you're VCing with them and stuff like that. But there's a whole nother level of like, not giving a shit about that and just going, sticking with the collab. There's a lot of stuff that happens, and I don't think I'm cut to do that all the time. It's not comfortable for me. It's got to be someone that I trust as much as I do Josh, and very understanding. I've had conversations with him after stream about how I feel about these things, and not positive every single time. Not a positive. They weren't positive experiences with most of them are, but there were times that I had to just be honest and be like, hey, that didn't work for me. I can't,
can we try something else?
Can we try something else? Like, yeah. And I think I'm just really hard to work with in that sense. Is what I felt. So all of that on top of that. So it's just a lot of things to think about. And yeah, 2024 has just been kind of like a lot of thinking, a lot of hard thinking, wins here and there, but still like fighting through it. Not losing, but like fighting through it, I think. Is my kind of, mid-year review of my experience of this year. It's a little bit different than yours, Blue, but we're living very different lives in that sense, but we share those moments. You have anything to say?
Nope.
No? Say something. Say something cool.
I mean, it's like I'm not there much anymore with streaming, so I think it has been hard.
Oh, it doesn't have to be about streaming. I was just saying, like,
no, I know, but
like about you and like us.
No,
and
I know. Can I?
Yeah,
finish?
just go ahead.
What I'm saying is, since I'm not here on stream too much anymore, a lot of the, I think, decisions or like the confusion and whatnot is something that you had to go through with by yourself. And yeah, I think that's the hard part of, I guess, my position now is that I don't really know what you're going through too much. And I do, yes, but I meant like I'm not directly there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, I'm still invested in streaming, but not to the degree that you're in.
Mm-hmm.
Like my not stakes, but like, what do you say? Like my part in it has become a lot less weighted.
Yeah.
So while I still do want our stream to go somewhere, it's kind of out of my hands now. Or,
right.
I mean, it's not like, it's not like it's forced out of my hands or anything like that. It's not like that. It's more like I have to put work first.
100%.
That's just how, work is. So,
and you want to.
Yeah. Of course, I do want to.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is I can't put both things on equal footing. One does have to take priority.
Yeah.
And so work for me is that priority. So yeah, I mean, the fact that, you've had to find other people like Josh to be that second person to find someone to come find it and stuff. I am glad that you found him. And yeah, hopefully that's something, you guys can continue, or maybe you can find more people like that. I'm not really sure where it's going.
Yeah.
And of course there's times where I have ideas that I suggest to you, but not everything is doable, or sometimes they're just ridiculous ideas. So I try to help. But
100%.
at the end of the day, yeah, I think it is something you have to go through with by yourself. And unfortunately, I can't really, help you out 100% like I used to.
Yeah.
So I think in that sense, it's also really difficult where it's Blluist, but at the same time, Gray has to do a lot of the thinking and sacrifice more.
Yeah, it's like, it was just exactly what, there's some things that hasn't really changed. And is that when you have a channel that's built on 2 people and one more predominantly than the other and one goes away, it takes a lot more effort mentally and actual just every single sense to rebuild that and build something new. And if I was solo the whole entire time, and you came in once in a while, that would be something different. If it was the other way around and I was just jumping in a couple of times, this would not even be happening. Like people would not stick around. So it's like we're kind of at that middle point. And so, which is pretty rare, right? It's just pretty rare. So it's not something that people, you can't apply a solo streamer's mindset or to what we're doing. So it's,
and I'm not saying like we don't regret starting it together or anything like that.
Never.
It's just more like
no.
It is difficult to transition. It's not as easy as I think. Like if we were solo.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it is a lot of. It's going to be difficult probably for the next couple of years, maybe.
I think so.
Yeah. So.
And it's whatever happens. Like if there's a moment where I feel like I did everything that I could. And that's comfortable to me. I'm never gonna do something that's not comfortable to me. But if I feel like I've done everything that I could, without still being myself, I guess, and what I believe in, and I feel like, I personally feel like it's not going where I want it to, and there's no movement, I'm gonna get bored of this. So, and that's when I think. Question before we've had was like, when do you think you'll quit? And I said the same thing.
When they'll quit.
And I said that, but I mean, as of now, I think we're still in testing a lot of things.
So we'll see.
Yeah, there's a lot that I could say about, or my thoughts about stuff, but a lot of it is just here and not really like in action yet. And I don't like to talk about things that are. I'll say like I can't talk about it now because those things are actually moving. I hate talking about shit that's just in my head and that I'm not doing anything about it.
I mean, it's like that previous idea that didn't work out. There's a reason why we didn't talk about it is because there's times where it might not work out.
Yeah.
So the last thing we want to do is be like, hey guys, we're working on this, and then 1 month later being like, oh sorry, that flopped.
Yeah.
So it's just better for everyone if we just don't mention it until it's actually something presentable.
Yeah. So I mean, I kind of mentioned it, but in a very vague way. And anyways, but I think there's this one's kind of a confusing one for me, but I did want to talk about how just be a little bit, it's all about honesty. I just wanted to be honest. It's not like, let's fucking go every day, I mean, and that's okay. I think that's okay. And I think people
you're human. There's times where we don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, we have low days and high days, and sometimes you just want to not leave the bed, or sometimes you just don't want to stream and you just want to go somewhere and just do your own thing. So, and then there's times where all you want to do is stream all day. So, like, it really is a roller coaster.
Yeah.
I think
it's tough, but there's moments. But so even Gray thinks about things sometimes. On stream, I never think about anything, but
what are you talking about? You think all the time.
It's outside of streaming. When I'm streaming, I'm like whatever, but it's always like when I'm in the moment, but it's always like outside of streaming that I just kind of get lost in my head, which I think a lot of people do. Like when they're like on, all they think about is just doing the best that they can, and then once they get home from work or whatever, that's when the thoughts come in. So
yeah, true.
I feel like that's what's happening, and I think Yeah, there's not much, but it doesn't mean, but I just want to stress that it's during these times, people that are showing up or finding us during these times and supporting us or rediscovering us and supporting us is really what keeps us going. So thank you so much for support. I think it's, you know, you gotta like it probably comes through in some sort of way, you know, like even if you don't see it in our actions or our words, when you see certain statistics, when you see a certain thing, you go, oh, they're probably not happy about this in some sort of way. And it was a year of that, and we've seen that happen to other channels, and this is our year of that. And yeah, like we see those more than anybody, those numbers, those things that unfortunately in the industry our worth is tied to. It's not, but like, you know what I mean. On a deeper note, it's not, but like a lot of it is tied to that, and our confidence is tied to that, and so it's a lot of it is just fighting through. And I really appreciate people that are there to help us fight through, because if we didn't have you guys, we couldn't even fight. So I really, really appreciate that. So thank you guys so much. That's all I want to say. I made it sound like that was it. Like today was the last podcast, but no, that was
another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have another one. We have one more.
We have one more coming up before everything goes to hell.
Our internet gets shot. We get kicked out of our apartment. Noise complaints. It's wild. Next month's podcast, absolutely wild. But anyways, thank you guys so much. Yeah, that was a little bit of a heavy one for the month. We've had a couple this year, but hopefully you guys understand, and that's just being honest here. So appreciate you guys. Let's go to the questions. Blue, what's the question? What's the first question of the month, Sue? We have quite a lot of questions. Thank you guys so much.
First one is from Trip.
What's up, Trip?
I've heard many different replies to this. I'm curious about you too. When changing the volume, do you prefer to stop at an odd number or an even number?
Never thought about it. Do I even have numbers on my volume knob?
Yes, of course you do.
Whoa. So, you know, like the Windows is just a slider?
Mm-hmm.
I just move it. I never look at the number. I've never looked at what number it was.
Oh my God, you're such a freak.
Never looked at the number.
Even TV?
I mean, like old school TV was like the green bars, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm looking at the bars and visualizing sound there, not the number.
God, you're a freak.
I look at like the grid. I look at it, and if it's like a little less than 40, there's a certain level of volume that I'm imagining.
Okay, grid's weird.
I've never looked at the numbers. No.
Really?
No.
I mean, yours right now is at 42. So
Yeah.
maybe you're an even number kind of guy.
No, because I don't have that in.
No, so I meant like subconsciously you're an even number kind of guy.
Maybe. That could be, but I'm not even looking at the number.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
How about
for
you?
me, I go by 10s or 5s.
You're so crazy.
So,
You
so
are
it's either 20, 25, 30, 35.
when
If it has to be between, then it has to be like 3. So it'd
when
be like 43. Or if it's between 5 and 10, then it has to be a 7.
Okay, so that's crazy because when you're listening to something or you're watching a video, when has it ever been just 5 notches off or on? It's all 5 notches is either way too loud or way too quiet. Because you're
Yeah, so then I'm saying 3 or 7 works too.
But
So
that's
I think I'm an odd number person.
yeah. In that sense, I would be an odd I feel like I'm an odd person because like 5 is a huge increment.
Yeah. So I'm
For me.
saying 3 is okay too.
Yeah.
But I don't like stopping at like 62. That's an uncomfy number.
How about 42?
Ew, no.
Does that freak you
No,
out?
I would bump it up to 43.
40. Oh, because you're an odd number person? I was like,
Yeah.
43 is just as in between as 42.
Yeah, but at least 43 looks prettier
Interesting.
in my head. Yeah.
There you go. Thank you so much for that
No.
question. 9 asks, if all expenses were paid for, which country and places outside of Japan would you want to travel and to why? What was the funniest intrusive thoughts you've had?
First question.
2 questions. I want to go. I've always said I wanted to travel Asia a little bit more, so I would probably pick an Asian country. Like I want to go to like Korea is somewhere that we could probably. It's one of those places that like a lot of people go because it's like close, it's cheap,
possible, yeah.
and to get there, and a lot of the culture is really similar. So I would want to go. I want to go to like. I have some friends from Thai that always said that I would really like it there. I love. So I want to try there. My friends from Chiang Mai, and so I do want to try going there. I've mentioned before that I do want to go to the Philippines. Got some good friends in the Philippines. But again, I guess it's just tied to the people that are from there. I don't really have any significance besides the people that I know.
So I have a few that I would like to go to. One would be Greece, because I heard that it's really pretty there. Or honestly, like anywhere in Scandinavia would be nice, just because I like historical shit, but I've never been. So, like,
yeah.
I mean, honestly, anywhere around there would be nice. Sweden, Finland, whatever, Netherlands.
There you go.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
So, what was the funniest intrusive thought you had?
So I have a hard time with body odor, as in like other people's body odor. I'm very, very sensitive to it.
I know that.
So there are times where I'm in the train and I always wondered what would happen if I brought spray deodorant and like spray breath mints with me. And I always just imagine myself like looking at the person next to me and just spraying their armpit and see what would happen. That'd be nice. Or, someone's talking to me, I'm just, spraying mouth spray at them. Because, that's one of the things. Like, I went to that performance the other day. The person next to me had the worst, like, kareshu ever.
The old person smell?
Like, the old person. I just wanted to spray everything everywhere. And someone had the worst, like, breath close to us, too. So I wish I could just drown myself in fucking perfume or something.
Smell is a big one, especially now that it's summer. I feel like it's
I
super relatable.
really, really want to bring around spray deodorant and just spray people's armpits. Like as soon as they lift their arm to grab onto that hold, like that little strap, I just want to spray them. Be like, you're welcome.
So intrusive thoughts are like thoughts that disrupt things that, like
it's like thoughts that you would never do, right?
Right, like things that you would just never think of. Like, like for me, it would be like. Things that I would never do, but I think like,
I mean, one other one I've always thought of is what would happen if I yelled at a kid who was causing havoc. But
that's what. Yeah.
It's a lot of like, it's always when people are rude. I can't. That's when I think about it, but I never do. Like there's times where some old people are rude, and I sometimes a big one was we were in the train the other day.
Yeah.
And there was a person in front of me, and there was a person next to me. Both of them would not stop staring.
Oh, yeah.
And I just really, really, really wanted to say something. But
I guess that's mine. Is like when people are staring at you or something, I want to like look at them and be like, hey, what's up? Hey.
Yeah. So that's
like just be super obnoxious.
Yeah.
And just be like,
So it's like, or if someone's obnoxious, like a kid is obnoxious, or even like older people, if they're being obnoxious, I wish I could just yell at him and be like, shut the fuck up. But we don't do that. So.
Blue has a lot of intrusive thoughts is what I'm learning. You have a lot of thoughts that you just want to like... Actually, there's a lot of things that annoy you.
I don't like people.
On the day-to-day.
So people annoy me, yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Because I don't have too many. Like when someone's bothering you, obviously, or something, maybe you're not noticing it, but it would bother you, and I notice it, like someone's staring behind or... that you're not looking at. I'm just like, dude, come on. Like there's moments where I'm just like, really?
Hello?
Like even if Blue wasn't my partner, it could be just like a friend, and we're obviously talking, right? So we have some kind of connection. That is just rude behavior. Like just stop.
I just don't like rude people, I think is what it is. And rude as in like either disrupting something with their smell or their mouth or whatever it is. Like, you can still be disruptive if you don't take a shower and you don't put deodorant on in the middle of summer.
True.
So, That's really rude.
Smell harassment is an actual word that people here use at work. So for people that come,
don't be rude, because that's all my intrusive thoughts is for rude people. So.
Don't, guys. Make sure you guys, if we ever hang out, please be wearing deodorant in the summer and.
No, just don't be rude. That's it.
Don't be rude.
Just be nice to people. Just be respectful.
There you go.
That's
Makes
all
sense.
I care about.
Good question.
So.
Cavello says, to add to this, if you had billionaire levels amount of money, what would be the first thing you'd purchase for yourselves personally? And also, what would be the first thing you purchase as partners? House?
You want a house?
Or buy a big ass living place, just comfortable living place that we just die there. That's what I would probably do.
Yeah, like a bigger apartment would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about a house because I don't want to have to take care of our own shit.
Yeah, a living place doesn't have to be a home. A home. I would get a home, that forever home where Blue and I die. So
that would be something we purchase as partners. So it would be something super selfish for you.
What would be something super selfish? Billionaire levels of money. What I don't even want anything that costs money because I don't have a driver's license. I don't drive.
Yeah, you do. You know what I would want? You know what I would want for you? It's a fully soundproof room.
Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah. So you don't have to worry about shit.
Oh, dude, yes.
Completely soundproof room.
Easy. Soundproof room, yeah. Easy.
Yeah.
That's not even close to billionaire money, but yeah, that's all I can think of.
And for me, it would be, I would want a full on, I would want a game, I would have my gaming PC, but I would want a Mac desktop for work. That'd be nice. Which I know that's not a billionaire thing either.
Yeah.
It would be nice to have two PCs, one for work and one for streaming. Because I work better on a Mac, creative stuff. So
there you go.
Yeah,
we're as you can tell, we don't really think about having a lot of money.
Yeah.
So we're very day to day. What would
be
quality of life right now?
Yeah,
is all we can think of.
Or
what would be a jet?
I don't want a jet.
A flying dog.
No, I don't want a flying dog either.
Okay. Yeah. How do you handle creative burnout? Creative burnout, huh? This is interesting because it'll be different from me and Blue now. But yeah, I'm more interested. When you must hit a wall when you are working, right? Mm-hmm. There's always a moment when you're working with clothes. How do you deal with it?
I stop working. That's one.
First of all,
yeah.
I don't even know this. Sorry. What is creative burnout in terms of your profession?
It would be that I can't design anything worth anything. As in nothing nothing interesting. I would be thinking oh, what if I do this, but it just looks like absolute shit and you realize no one's gonna buy this? Or nothing comes to your head, what?
We're talking silhouettes?
No, I'm talking about clothing. Cause right now I'm working on spring summer for next year. So it's what do people even want?
So you're creative.
And it's just blank because I would look at inspiration, but it's that's boring. That's boring. And we've made something like that before, and you just nothing comes into your head because it's there's no. Yeah.
Is it types of items? Is that where your creative kind of process starts? Starting I want very simply I want a T-shirt. Is it?
Yeah, that's. I mean, it starts from types, but then from types you have to make it different. You can't just have just a T-shirt because it's just boring.
Right.
So it's what can you do to the T-shirt to make it interesting? What can you do to the hoodie or something to make it nonsense? So if that's the case, I think that's the part where I get burnout is where I don't know what to do with it. How do you make a hoodie interesting? All of a sudden I can't. I'm supposed to, I specialize in silhouettes, but then all of a sudden I can't think of a good silhouette. To me, it's just oh, well, I'm shit. Nothing's coming to my head. I can't make anything interesting.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
So what do you do?
I stop working and I do other things, whether it be watching a movie or playing games or browsing internet or reading a book and try to get some kind of input somewhere. Because I need some kind of creative input somewhere, or else it's just I'm just in a hole of non-creativity, of burnout, and of just nothing. So just do something else. You got to refresh your mind somehow. So
I think that's a really good. That's what I do too. But I've noticed that my burnout, because like people use that word all the time, right?
Yeah.
Especially in content creation. You're burning out because you're not being creative. It's not that creative burnout is happening when you're out of creativity.
Yeah.
Not because there is like it's not like and I don't mean like you've used it up. じゃなくて, like it's not that, it's you're just not thinking of B, C, and D. So you just don't have that. It's not the time for B and C and D to come out. For like in your case, it would be like you're waiting for options, and options come out through creativity, right? And the only way to deal with that, because there's a moment where the engine starts running. There's a moment where you go, oh, that's where I need to take this project into this direction. Or it's even, I want to do this project. I want to start A. It's not even trying to find what connects A to B, B to C. You're trying to think of A. Like sometimes A just arrives, which is the best feeling, because then there's so many ways to go, right? But it's noticing that creative burnout doesn't mean like there's a fuel tank of 100 creativity, and once you use it all up, it's gone and you're burned out.
I think I'm gonna butt in really quick, but I don't like the word burnout, because that means, like you said, it's empty. Like I really like you know how like writer's block, like the term writer's block, like it's blocking creativity, and I think that's a better word. Like it's a creative block, as in you're getting a blockage in your creativity. It's not that you're out of it. It's something in your brain is stopping that flow of creativity that you already have.
100%.
And so you have to unblock it.
Yeah.
So you need to get a Q-tip and unblock that shit. And that Q-tip could either be movies or games or whatever it is that starts up again. Like you need to find some creativity somewhere, right? Inspiration somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think burnout doesn't exist. Burnout isn't like creative burnout to me doesn't exist, because burnout is something that makes you stop doing something. You're like 100%. I think you're just sick of it.
It's fatigue
too.
too.
Yeah. Burnout is that you're tired of it. You're sick of it. You don't want to do it anymore because you're bored of it.
Right. You're done. But you're done with that.
I think blockage, like writer's block, design block, isn't that you're sick of it. You just can't think of anything new, so you're stuck. And so, to me, I think, blockage is a better term. And in that sense, you just need to stop what you're doing, because being stuck in a block isn't going to do anything. So you need to find something to get those creative juices going, whether that be, for those of you outside of Japan and, maybe in America, maybe that might be weed. That might be watching a new movie that you don't know. That might be taking a walk in the park. That might be hanging out with friends. That could be, honestly, anything that could make a different part of your brain do something else. Like, I think the less you use that creative part of your brain, it'll unblock itself, because you're kind of stimulating other parts. So I think, what I would do is just do something else.
For me, what I was trying to get at was that recognizing that burnout is you're done with that. So no matter how much you push through that, there's nothing there. There's nothing in that direction. Like the end result of that creative project ends there, in that specific road. There's a bunch of forks in the road, but that part, it's a dead end. So don't try to push through. Like I wouldn't try to push through. And a lot of people, and the internet is to blame for this, with this false information that you just need to go through it. Why would you go through a dead end? Because when you think about the stories that people through that get over these burnouts, is blah, blah, blah. I kept doing it, blah, blah, blah. And then it hit me. Something hit me and got me out of burnout, which means that it's a totally different thing. Like it's a totally different road that helped, and I 100% am with that. Where it's like, in the sense that once you hit burnout, and I felt it before, you just need to take a hard stop. Doesn't mean to get away from the project and leave forever. Just hard stop. I'm going the wrong way right now. I'm going the wrong way. So I just need to back up a little bit, get to the fork, and then I need something to kind of back me up. But from my personal experience, pushing through a burnout doesn't lead to shit. But you will, because you are creative, you are gonna find that answer. You're gonna find that answer that gets you out of the burnout. But there's a faster way to find that than just pushing through it.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna find it either way, and then you're gonna be like, "Oh man, thank God that I pushed through that. I found it." No, there's a different way to find it. If you can recognize that, because you're a creative person. If you think that you're having creative burnout, you're already a creative person. So,
like I said, a burnout is just blockage.
So you just gotta back up, go around, find a way, whatever that means. Like Blue said, taking a break. For me, it's finding other projects. It's finding other. What can I use? What if I take this and change the angle? I try to, even if I stand there, I try to look at things from all different kinds of angles, and that takes a couple days maybe. But yeah, I like to just look at the same thing and stand in different positions and see if I can find anything new. Is what I've kind of practiced to do, and it's interesting to me. So that's what I would do. But that's a really good question. We used to get that question a lot because we used to talk about that a lot, but we haven't in a bit. And I think I've kind of matured in that sense of that creative burnout. And I've just seen people praise or like just preach this thing where it's like, you gotta grind through, man. You gotta go through it, and it's just like, no, dude. It's recognizing that burnout means that that part of that road is done. So you'll get something creative. Let's go somewhere else.
The more you push at it, the more it's gonna make you tired. The more likely that you're gonna burn out just as fast again.
Yep. And the only thing that's pushing you through is pride.
Yeah.
You have to notice that
honestly,
it's just pride.
It's so much more worth your time to just back away, work on something else, or do something completely different, and then come back to it later.
Yeah.
Because the time it takes for you to go get away from it and then come back to it is going to be so much shorter than you pushing through it and then you getting burnout again. Like the results of you coming back to it maybe tomorrow, even like a week later, is going to provide better results than you pushing through this ambiguous blockage.
Yeah. Just think that everything that you've experienced is XP, and then you maxed it out on that road. So you just got to go back somewhere else. All the XP that you got in the way is never wasted.
Yeah,
that road was not that shit will be referenced in some sort of way 100% in the next road. So it's not like you wasted your time at all. You just think of it as just you maxed the level, and so you got to go to a different path. There's millions of other paths, and you've already gained the experience that you need. Just back away and move on of course, personally, that's how if I see myself coming, you can like start to tell, is this the end of the road? Am I gonna like start to get burned out? When you can like feel that, I'm already backing out, going somewhere else. So that's what I do. Sorry for the long answer. It was just I think it was interesting because we have different ways to cope with it. I mean, it was pretty much the same thing, but it was interesting. If you had great internet electricity, do you think you guys could live in a rural area, or would you not leave the city at all? This convenience of the Tokyo city, which I've just been completely spoiled with, I don't think I could do that. Internet is not what keeps me in the city.
I mean, I don't think I can go completely
Oh yeah, that's
outside the city.
Wait, what kind of area is it, Blue?
Desert. There's nothing there. Countryside. I don't think I could do, but maybe smaller than Tokyo, I wouldn't mind. But I
Oh,
would
for sure. If it's a city,
Yeah. I still want a city.
you need a
but
supermarket and a convenience.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like I would want to be able to, walk to the doctor or like walk to the supermarket. That is something I need. But I can't go to the countryside where you need a car to be able to go visit a doctor. Or I need a car to go take the dogs to the vet. Or I can't hop in a car and be like, okay, so I gotta go get like pain meds. And it's like 10 minutes away by car. Like I can't, not 10 minutes, sorry, 20 minutes away by car. I can't do that.
Yep.
Like I want to be able to just pop into a convenience and get what I need. That's that level of convenience I think I need now. But it does not have to be, I don't need to live smack dab in the middle of Tokyo.
Oh,
I don't mind going to Yokohama. I don't, like I said, I personally want to live in Kyoto, but not like central touristy area, but maybe a little bit outside. That'd be nice, but
Because that place is still like a city.
Yeah, it's still a city. Exactly.
Even like outside the touristy areas,
Yeah. It's just a little bit less dense.
But yeah, I think it would, for me is that just day to day. And Cavello, you've been to Japan, in Tokyo, like you probably felt it too, but
it's just
shit is crazy good when it comes to convenience here.
So convenient.
So I'm aware of that too. Like, and I've lived here my whole life. So it's
your whole entire life, right?
My whole entire life.
Yeah.
I was, so yeah. Thank you so much for the questions.
Yeah.
Car asks, are you gonna play the Final Fantasy 16 DLC? I don't know.
I don't know.
The thing is, I was thinking about this, is that it's okay. This is not, I don't think it's bad or anything. This is just me, like the why I don't have the motivation to play it. The story ended in Final Fantasy 16 main game, right?
Yeah.
And it ended. And the DLC must mean two things. It's something that happened before or something, an alternate timeline, right?
Or something after, but it's with different characters.
Right. And there's a certain reason why they can't do that. There's a certain reason why you wouldn't expect that it would be after the DLC. After the main game. And I don't know, for me, DLC is always like, it's always, the prequel stuff is cool too, but like, it's either got to be like way beginning or after. And I can't be motivated to play a game that's like in between.
Yeah.
Especially with the way the story of the 16 goes. And how I know the main game.
I mean, that's
ends.
why like we never played Resident Evil DLC either. Like we never really play like the, what was it? Like the Resident Evil, what's his face? That guy's storyline.
Red Clifford, the big red dog. Chris.
Yeah. Or even the daughter story. Like it's not, I don't know. I think it needs to be something really, really extraordinary to be getting into the DLC.
I'm interested in the 7 DLC because that happens afterwards. The only reason why, I'll be honest. The reason why I didn't suggest that is that because I already watched somebody play the whole entire thing.
Oh, like I'm not interested in that. So.
Yeah, I'm okay with that because that's something that happens after the game.
Like for me, for example, if I was to play Resident Evil Village DLC, I would want the DLC to be either about one of the people, like before they became who they are in the game, like an actual prequel.
You want a prequel
about Heisenberg or about Dimitrescu or something. That would be cool to get some lore into it. But if it's like, I honestly couldn't really care about the daughter. So, yeah.
Well, it's giving her more character in that.
Yeah, but I don't
DLC.
care.
She
never appeared in the main game.
Kids.
So
what?
No, she never appeared in the main game. So why do I care about her?
Right.
Is what it is. Why do I care what her story is?
Right. There's
it's just not. I don't know. It's just like it's not to me. It's not that like captivating. I guess.
Yeah.
So.
And again, it's not like a strict rule. I'm sure I've played DLCs that were in the middle. I mean, Elden Ring DLC is kind of like, where is it? Like, it's all that stuff. But the reason why specifically 16 didn't pull me in was because of the main story game and how that ended. And it didn't motivate me to, like, want to... Like, I was, like, done. Like, I was like, that was good. That was cool.
I mean, if Elden Ring was a story game, we probably wouldn't have played the DLC. Like if it was like a pure story game.
I have no idea what's
going on. The gameplay is, yeah. But because it has nothing to do with the story, really.
Yeah, we can't keep up with the story.
Like we're playing Elden Ring for the gameplay, not really the story.
100%. And then it's like the bonus afterwards when we watch that Vati video. I'm like, it's like, but I can't.
I think that's the biggest difference.
I won't be like looking at all the items in the games and everything like while I'm playing. I won't remember all that, so stuff like that. I'll be like, so which NPC do I kill to get cool gear? Like when I'm playing the game.
Like I think it's a pretty big tell about the fact that even with like Final Fantasy 14, we play through the expansion like really quickly, but the patches we didn't play right away.
Yeah,
so I think it's
they're
like
good
the same
though.
kind of,
I like
yeah,
the
they're good,
patches,
but I know, but I mean like we're not as motivated as like the main game. Like we'll still play it and we'll still find it really good, but it's not like we'll play it if it's there. Like,
I enjoy
but to catch up with the story for the next expansion.
Yeah,
but
I think story wise, we're not used to playing story-driven DLCs.
Yeah,
kind of thing. I want the new one. I want the next big one.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Like we're not really used to fillers.
Yeah,
so to speak.
Thanks for that question. Great question. Machi asks, "Have you tried eating a spider yet?" I had a chance to eat a spider, on a stream.
The fuck would I do that?
A challenge stream. If I lost, but I thankfully didn't lose, so I didn't eat it. They had like dried up spiders. Insane. And yeah, Blue never in a million years wouldn't even touch a spider. Do you remember what the first gift you gave each other was? I gave Blue a
it fell, but it was that Boba Fett tapestry. Yeah,
that was.
I made you a hand knitted sweater.
The green hand knitted sweater.
Yeah.
Why do you make it sound so? I wore it like a ton.
I know, but now I realize that probably wasn't a very good first gift.
Wait, why?
It's a bit heavy, you know.
Oh, really? I was like, fuck yeah. I was wearing it like, you know.
You wear it a lot. Now you never wear it. Just kidding.
It's been 8 years, you know. Things change.
Yeah. Apparently he doesn't like the color green anymore.
But hey, we still remembered our first gifts. We were right off the top of our heads. That's pretty good. I will never forget that. Jer asks a long question here that I can you scroll down a little bit? Go ahead.
So this is for a story I'm writing, and I'd appreciate your inputs.
Let's go.
The setup. You have a friend that you've only met once or twice in real life, but you consistently talk to them online. Said friend either sends you a DM or you have a face-to-face conversation, so you hang out for a few minutes/hours.
Okay.
This will be your final interaction with them. The question, would you prefer they tell you that this is the last time you talk to them, or would you prefer not knowing? If you choose to know, what would your reaction be and what would you say?
I would prefer not knowing.
Really?
I would prefer to not know, but if I wanted to know, the question, sorry, because that would just end the question here. If you choose to know, what would your reaction be? And what would you say? Okay. I would be interested. The thing is because I've never had a situation where someone actually said that to me, but it's happened before where like this is the last time that we're talking. As in like that was the last time I talked to them. So it's happened before, but no one's ever been like, all right, great, this is the last time. If someone said that to me, I would probably ask why it's the last time, and then why they needed to even mention that. Because it's kind of weird that you would assume or like that you would just lock it in and be like, this is it. There must be a reason. So I would ask that.
I mean, for me, it would be, recently I did have that. So I would want to know. Yeah, I think I would rather know because, of course, it could just be just a simple like, hey, I'm moving away or like I'm going to be in a situation where I don't have internet so I can't talk to you kind of thing. And you can say what you need to say. Or it could be, you know, a more serious situation where they're going to pass away and you can have final words kind of thing. So I would rather know if that's going to be the last time so I can say what I need to say, whether it be, of course, like, yeah.
I mean, final words, I think, is a different situation. If that was
but it could be final words. You never know, like what they're going through. So I think, so what I mean is like if you choose to know, what would your reaction be? So I don't know what my reaction would be honestly, but I would say, I mean, I would ask if they're gonna be okay. Probably. If it's just like a friend being like, hey, I'm not going to be able to talk to you anymore, I would want to know if they can't talk to me because of serious reasons.
Yeah, you would ask why, right?
Yeah. Like, I would want to know why. So I think that's probably that's what I would say. Because, like, are you okay? Like, are you in a bad situation? Is that why you can't talk? Or is it just like, you want to move on because maybe I remind you of a bad place in your life or something, and then you need to move on? That's okay. Like, as long as I have some kind of explanation as to why that person is leaving, then I think I'm okay. I mean, that's what I would prefer.
I mean, if they were gonna, if it was like a disease thing and it was literally the last time that they're like, they have limited time, I would want to know that, of course, because I've experienced that. And I never want that again. Yeah. Where you talk to somebody and then you feel like you know them and then they're gone. And you find out months after, or in a really unfortunate way, But if it wasn't, so that's like the super extreme. But if somebody came up and said, yo, Gray, this is the last time, like I'm logging off. Like, this whole internet thing's not for me or something like that. Like, that would be an answer that would come out from why. And then I would be like, yeah. But, I don't, but I wouldn't.
I would want to know because I would worry about them, honestly. If I don't know the reason, I would worry. So
I wouldn't notice as much unless I was talking to them, like, all the time. I'm like constantly if I was constantly talking to them online, maybe.
Then I would wonder why they disappeared. So
yeah. I don't have too many people like that, so it's hard. But usually the people that I talk to the most, I always meet them, hang out with them all the time. So yeah, if I was constantly talking to them online, but there was a specific moment, I would want to know, and I would ask them why.
Jeremy, are you leaving? Is that why you're asking me? Is this why? Is it because are you leaving?
Are you leaving? This is not.
Is this it's for a friend, aka I'm leaving
asking
kind of situation?
For a friend type situation?
Yeah.
Now you made it so serious. Now Jeremy's gonna be like,
I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
If you do, please let us know why and why you don't like me. And then we can all right. Just kidding, but yeah, I think I would probably, I changed my question. I forgot. Sorry, I didn't realize it was you talk to them all the time online. So yeah. Bob, am I still on time? You were on time to ask that question, but
I don't think you asked the question.
Yeah, I don't think you asked
I don't
the question,
know. No, so you're not on time.
You missed it by just a little bit. So next month, yeah, you can ask your question.
Yeah.
Right now, after if you hear this, and then it'll be for the next month. Vaughn, for Blue, if the income of streaming was more stable or more than enough, would you still have taken the job as fashion designer?
Yes, because it has nothing to do with money. I mean, to a certain extent, yes, of course, but
it's your dream job.
Yeah, like this is my dream job. Streaming isn't. Like streaming is a hobby, not a dream job.
Hell yeah.
So, yes, I would have taken the fashion designer job.
Yeah. Watch any good anime? I haven't watched any anime. We watched a little bit of I was feeling really sick that one day, and we watched a little bit of Danjo Mishi. It was pretty good. And Furiren, a couple of episodes, but I haven't been keeping up with that. Slacking.
We tried solo leveling, but the anime wasn't. It was hard to get into. I heard the manga's really good though.
Any chance of an audiobook read by Blue, obviously?
No one wants that. I would put you guys to sleep more than anything.
I think that's the point, right? It's a soothing experience.
Is that what you guys want? Do you guys want me to read you a bedtime story?
Like
Pick a book.
That's the next book club. Next book club is like
I'll put you guys all to sleep. Yeah.
There you go. Guys, thank you guys so much for the questions again. And the last one was by Casey. The one before that was by Brent. Thank you guys so much for always asking the questions. This is a fun one. Talked a lot about a lot of good stuff. It's a long one today, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you guys in the next month. Hopefully, we'll see you guys on stream during the month. But if SOSO is the way you're catching up with us, we're doing fine. Hope you're doing good. If you're gonna leave, please let us know why. I'm kidding. But hopefully everything is okay until next month. I don't know. Anu seems sleepy. I don't know what's going on with him. But we'll see you guys in the next month of the SOSO podcast. Let's catch up again later. Take care, you guys.
Bye.